Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killerrodan. So today I'm going to be just uploading a fairly quick video on my original channel because as promised, I'm going to at least make an attempt to be more frequent with these videos on my original channel. Yes, of course, I'll post a link down below for my second channel. If anyone wants to see me talk about movies and such, I'll post a link down below for Alphas as well if you want to see gaming stuff. Anyway, let's get to the topic at hand here. Obviously, I want to talk about anime in this video. Maybe not a specific anime, just trying to have a talk about anime in general, because I guess this could go for any genre, but it'll probably be suited best for like a slice of life kind of, or maybe drama kind of anime. But before anyone says anything, yes, of course, this is a very touchy subject matter when it comes to this kind of a stuff, of course, but bottom line, what I'm trying to get at, should anime be focusing on having a character that's disabled? I mean, yes, of course, this could vary because it could be physical disabilities or some kind of way. Not, because not every disability is is visible. It could also be invisible. Maybe you don't see it. What that specific disability? Of course, maybe it could be like a some kind of disorder. Maybe some people can hear right. Maybe they could hear, maybe legally blind versus being like 100% blind. Of course, some disabilities, whatever they are, could vary from person to person because it's not just some wide brush stroke like how autism is not one kind of thing because it could vary, obviously. But yes, this could be something that could be really tough to talk about in some ways because how do you write a story like this and come out and make it come off sensitive and not be disrespectful, of course, to said individuals? Obviously, make the story have this actual real research to it, of course, and not just quickly put together, of course. And yes, for those who don't know, it's not that this hasn't been done before. Oh yeah, there's been stories in anime where the character is disabled in one way or another. That has been done before. And so what I'm saying is not exactly brand new. It's just not very common in anime. It's just not super common in anime. Is what I'm getting at. How do you? So that gets into my other thing I want to talk about real quick. Is that how do you bring this into like a mainstream kind of a thing? It's gonna have some kind of massive appeal. Not only that, of course, obviously, how do you make it seem original? How do you make it seem interesting? Because, like I said, this kind of thing has been done before. Like trouble speaking, maybe have some kind of speech impairment. Maybe the character is stutters too much. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. Maybe the character has trouble hearing. Maybe both ears are kind of bad, but one is worse than the other. I don't know. You could do this in various ways, of course. I mean, yes, there could be a hearing aid, obviously, and well, or maybe a character. I don't know. Like I said, it varies. It could vary from person to person. Obviously, there could be like a different type of mental illnesses in which you could talk about. You could do that, of course. It could be done in a respectable way, obviously. But again, the tricky part is that how do you do this without making it seem like an asshole? Of course, there's of course anxiety disorders. Of course, again, that could vary from person to person. Obviously, anything about it, and maybe some kind of specific kind of anxiety disorder. I don't know. It could be various, of course, like separation anxiety disorder. That's one of them, of course. Panic disorder. That's another one. And again, how do you put this in a story where it comes off like you're not trying to make the person seem like a crazy person? I mean, of course, there are crazy people out there, obviously, but how can you separate these kinds of individuals from that? And that's like one of the most stereotypical things that people think about. If you're disabled, you must be a crazy person. That doesn't speak for everybody. That does not speak for everyone, like at all. Of course, when you think about it. Of course, there's depression, obviously. Yes, even that could vary from person to person, obviously. It could be acute depression or seasonal, I don't know, disorder, depression, or whatever you call that. Excuse me if I butcher that. But it could vary from some individuals, so it's major depression disorder, maybe disruptive mood disorder. Again, if excuse me, I've butchered some of these names here. But of course, you go be bipolar one disorder, bipolar two disorder, of course. But it's good. How do you put this kind of thing in the story? Make it interesting. And of course, obviously, there's like so many anime shows and movies that's been released, even anime novels, anime. I'm referring to manga, of course, or even anime video games. So again, how can you make your story here? How can you make your little story here stand out from the others, of course? And obviously, you have to make some kind of way to make it seem interesting, of course, in its own little way. And not make it seem like a cop out. Obviously, the cause of mental disorders are of course could be unclear. I mean, there's some theories that people would have that could somewhat incorporate in these findings from a wide range of fields, of course. Yes, maybe disorders may be associated with a particular region of something or a function of the brain. Disorders, yes, are usually diagnosed or maybe some sort of assistance by this mental health professional that could help out, of course, such as maybe this clinic individuals, people who work in a hospital in some kind of way, maybe those nurses, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know, clinical social worker using various methods as a way to discover certain things, of course, when it comes to certain tests, but of course, but often relying on some kind of observation, questioning, stuff like this. Obviously, like how do you treat this kind of a thing in a serious matter? Maybe if you are gonna use humor, how do you put humor in the story without making it seem insulting? Just stuff like this. You have to think about stuff like this. You do have to think about, of course, when it comes to taking into account into making it some kind of diagnosis, I suppose, obviously. And how would the main character react to when it comes to a social norm, like when it comes to Down syndrome? Of course, could these people, these types of individuals, hold a job? No, of course they can. Of course, like I said, it varies from person to person. Some people can handle it better than others when it comes to having a job, of course, obviously. But anyway, it's just something I thought I'd talk about for real quick here because I just want to upload something on this channel, obviously, as often as I could, be making more frequent, make more videos, of course, some kind of way. But anyway, that'll be it, folks. It's just something I want to discuss, really, because you could make a good story. I believe it could be a good story anywhere. It depends on the premise and, of course, the execution. Obviously, if it's done correctly. I do believe that anime as a whole does have a lot of potential. I know anime has been around for quite some time already, obviously, but I do still believe there's plenty of potential in which it could be had here. But anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling on at this point. So I know there's many disorders, you can type of stuff you can discuss, of course. So anyway, that'll be it. So of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time. See ya. Oh yeah.